Hello everyone, my name is Carlie Hamilton and here I am with you for a scrapbook process video. This one is for my wedding album again, and I'm doing this layout specifically for Roni Scrapper's 550 Subbie challenge. For this challenge we had to tell a story behind the photo. So there's of course lots and lots of stories that I can tell about my wedding photos, and the one that I'm going to tell today is actually the proposal story. Everyone loves a really good proposal story, and I'm also not a very good storyteller, so please excuse that. But so what happened with our proposal was we were in Japan on a 2-week holiday, and this was our first overseas holiday together, and I had wanted to go to Japan forever. I'm not sure what happened, but around 2007 I suddenly got really obsessed with all things Japan, and I decided to change my degree, and so I majored in Japanese language. And so I've always wanted to travel. I love traveling, and before this I'd only ever been to America and Canada, but I was always talking about traveling. And so around at the start of the year in 2008, basically Shane said to me, so where are we going on a holiday? Or something like that, just like really casually. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, we're going to Japan and we're going to do this and this and this. So that was fantastic. That's how we went for a trip to Japan. We ended up going in November 2008, and I have a whole scrapbook on that. So I'll show that to you. Actually, I've got two scrapbooks full of that trip. Yeah, so anyway, while we were on this trip in Japan, we were in Nara, and we were at a restaurant, and he proposed to me there in a restaurant in Japan. And the sweetest thing is that he proposed to me in Japanese, and he doesn't speak, oh well, he speaks a little bit of Japanese, but by a little bit I mean hello and thank you and goodbye, those kind of things. But what he'd asked a colleague at his work who was Japanese, well, he had a Japanese wife, and he found out how to propose in Japanese. So that's how sweet my man is. He went from a person who was not interested at all in travel, and if he was an Asian country probably wouldn't have been his first choice, to absolutely loving Japan. We ended up living there for a while, and now we have like a ritual of eating out at our favorite Japanese restaurants. Also, on our flight over to Japan, for some reason, he is the person that gets stopped at every checkpoint, at every airport. No matter where we go, it's him that gets stuck. And so of course he had the ring in his bag, and so they've stopped him for a bag search, and he said to me, oh, don't worry about me, don't wait for me, just go on to the lounge and I'll find you there. And at the time, I didn't even think about that was strange. But now he told me later that it was because he had the ring in the bag and he didn't want me to accidentally see it. So that's the proposal story. Really sweet. We went to Japan in autumn, and so all the leaves were changed and it was just beautiful, and we'd spent the day in Nara Park amongst all the deer and the leaves, and he told me that he'd been thinking about doing it all day, but he didn't until that night when we were at the restaurant. So I hope you've enjoyed that story and haven't bored you too much. As you can see with this layout, I have used some older papers and I've also used a couple of scraps on this page. I've stuck in a doily which goes with the background paper, which I love. It's so pretty, which has a printed doily on it. And now I'm going through my stash and I'm cutting out a whole heap of stickers and things that I might want to place on the page. Now this dog has some writing on it. I think it says we go better together or something like that from the top of my head. And I knew that I'm not going to use a dog on my pages, at least not for a while. I don't have a dog and I have trouble sticking random shapes on my pages. So I end up cutting out the words on the back of the dog, figuring that I can probably tuck it in somewhere. And I don't end up using it on this layout, but I love the colour and I love the sentiment, so I'll probably end up sticking it on a page in the future. Now this layout took me an hour and 2 minutes to make, which is about average of what I've been doing lately. And I really love how this one has turned out as well. I was in a scrapping groove. You can see I'm going through some more of my stash and I'm really trying to use up this Maggie Holmes chipboard sheet. I've had it for a little while now and I feel like I haven't used it as much as I want to. So I decided to use this hashtag love you banner, and it sort of fits in really nicely there in the corner of those photos. This is my little die cut box and it's still at that point in time it's getting a little bit empty. Not long after that I've filled it up with a whole heap of more scraps and stuff. So it's chock-a-block now and I need to scrap through it again. I really am loving just tucking little tags and things behind things to build up some layers. I find it's a really easy way to make your page look a bit more dimensional, and because they're only pieces of paper essentially, you don't need to spend a lot of money on expensive embellishments and stuff like that to really make a page that feels like it's got some depth and dimension to it. So that is one thing that I'm really a fan of at the moment. So yes, we got engaged in 2008 when we were on holidays, and we didn't end up getting married rather until 2013, and that is entirely my fault. I guess the main sort of subconscious reason. I know that the main overt reason is because life got in the way and we're really busy and everything. The subconscious under reason of that is because we met in high school and we started going out in high school. I guess I was just subconsciously like worried. There was just this worry in the back of my head that that maybe it was not the right decision, or like it wasn't this overt thing that he's wrong for me or anything like that. It was just more of a feeling because we were together so young, and I know that my parents got together young and they didn't last. I guess there was just this thing that I needed to live a bit before I got married, and so we ended up living overseas, which was a dream for me, something that I felt like I had to do in my life. And he followed me, and then when we got back I ended up going back to university, and so that wasn't really the right time yet either. And then once I was out of university and everything, that's when I felt like, okay, it's time now. So the reason we took so long is because of me. And you know, like my little sister, she's 4 years younger than me, and she'd been going out with her man for not even a year when they got engaged, and everything. I think they'd been together for a year and a half or something when they actually got married. So you know, maybe I'm a little bit crazy for waiting so long, but he stuck by me, and I couldn't be happier. So things have worked out all in the end. And of course, I guess marriage hasn't really ever been a huge priority in my life either. Otherwise, we would have gotten married years and years ago. I know for some people it is a huge priority. They want to have the big white wedding, and that's their dream. But that was never really my dream. My dream is to have fun and be with the one I love. So that's what our wedding reflected. Okay. So I inked a lot of the edges of those tags, and I find that really helps to bring things together. So if you've got like a whole heap of paper scraps and you're using it on a layout and it feels like it's a bit disjointed, try inking the edges, or even just using an ink outline, like a pen outline, and that helps it tie all together. Now we've had a bit of a jump in time here. I left and had some dinner and everything and didn't come back to it later. It's pretty much almost done now, but I got interrupted, and I feel like I wanted to add some more things to my layout, and because I'm trying to push myself to use up some of my older products or to do different things, I decide that I really want to try and stamp on this page. So I get out some of my older stamp sets. This one is a Mayor Road one, I think, and it's like a journaling one where you can mix and match like the little titles and the little icons above the journaling squares and boxes. And I love this one. Like, I had to get it, but I don't think I've ever actually used it. So now I am. Because it was like a journaling thing, it had lots of little icons and things for life, so like events in life. And so I believe I picked off the one that said wedding and stamped that a couple of times across the top there. I really want to use some more stamps though. I wasn't satisfied with that. So I used this older Love Elsie stamp, and it's just a love heart and it says love, and then it's got a line for you to write what you want on it. And I really didn't want to overpower I didn't want a really dark black pen so that all you see when you look at this page is my writing in that heart. So I used a really thin pen and I wrote this, so like love this, and I think that turned out really well. So I'm just doing a couple of finishing touches there. You saw earlier I stuck some clusters of 3 little gems in the corners, and I used to finish off all my layers with getting out the enamel dots and just sprinkling them around the page. But I think at the moment I'm going through a bit of a bling bling phase where I just want to put some bling on the page opposed to the enamel dots. I guess I enamel dotted myself out. So here's a bit of a close-up, trying to show all the layers there. It's a little bit hard with my cam's position to get to really show all that kind of stuff. But there you go, that's my finished layout. I hope that you have enjoyed this video and a bit of my stories behind it. Do go check out Roni Sue Scrapper's channel. I'll leave a link for it in the little thingy below. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up and to subscribe. You can also check out more at my website, which is createmess.com. So I hope this inspires you to get scrapping, and don't forget to make a mess. Bye!